then I'm gone. Cause I don't rap for me, I rap for him who sits on the throne. There's no stopping me, God's got a monopoly. Nah, says the world is yours, no, it's God's property. I'm rocking beats for his glory like the prophets preach. Spirits giving lyrics like I went and hit the lottery. That's how it's gotta be, my spiritual poverty. Cause the Lord is the potter, I'm just a piece of his pottery. Precious on top of me to give him praises properly. Can't steal the glory like stories of train track robberies. Talk is cheap, otherwise there's no hypocrisy. I praise him with my lyrics while he's reigning over sovereignty. About philosophy, questioning like I'm Socrates. I seen the footprint, so I'm convinced that Jesus walks with me. He's the anomaly, it's something of a comedy. Cause Christian hip-hop's not hot, not comedy. Taking back the economy, making rappers commodity. The James Bond for Jesus, I'ma be a Sean Connery. The sun is looking at me, the kind of man it'll be, depends on how I lead. The politics of my life, the way I'm treating my wife, determined if we survive. But why it pays my grace, a husband teaching the face, she wants me leading the way. Cause I'm the head of my home, the Lord to be alone, so don't leave me alone. I'm looking at my sunlight, he gon' reflect what I do like the moon do the sunlight. I'm an example to his young life, to treat my wife like a queen so he's seen how it's done right. I gotta teach her right from wrong.
Coming to you live from the Christ the Healer TV studios at the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. This is the 1412 Live, helping you to do the works and the greater works. Here's your host, Don Allen.
Thank you for joining us today. And this, again, I want to sing that song. If I had that kind of voice, I would sing that song. We're up and running. I apologize about last week. Don't know what took place. And don't care. It was going to be a rerun anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what did happen, though, is we played some really good music during that time last week. I was really impressed with the musical lineup of the 1412 last week when the show didn't air. It was really good. So I don't know what took place, but we're back with you today. So much to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
So much to talk about. We can't miss a week. There's too much. Too much to talk about. Yeah, we can't. I'm your host, Don Allen. This is the 1412 Live. So much to cover with this election, the second debate, the vice presidential debate. I mean, there's so much we could talk about. How about the new leaked Donald Trump audio clips? Oh, my goodness. The new Clinton emails. We do remember there's Clinton emails, right? Mm-hmm. Have people forgotten there's Clinton emails? I think we've forgotten. There are some Clinton emails.
Yeah.
Syrian refugees, they're still killing people in other countries, but we're going to have a 550% increase of them here. That's smart. Fact checks. We're going to talk about some fact checks. We have not fat checks.
Not fat.
Not fat chicks.
Right.
No,
we're not fat shaming here.
No, we're not fat shaming here. We have a whole bunch to talk about here today. I am joined by the hair, the myth, the legend. You know her, you love her. My fearless co-hostess with the mostest.
Aww.
Shy's here today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good to have you.
Good
all the way from the big island of Hawaii, the Coconut King, the co-founder of this ministry, King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha. Matt Davis is joining us via Skype today. Good to have you. He's giving you the salute. Giving you the salute. Mom says she's watching. Mom says smile. She's watching. Hello, Matt.
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning, Mom. We've got to behave.
We love Mom.
We love Mom. But before we get to that, let me take a moment to invite you to the third annual Dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun.
1412 Winter Summit in Laurie, Missouri. We are back at the Christ the Healer studios at the Laurie Terrace Mall. Tuesday, January the 3rd through Friday the 6th, with meetings at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. And those are going to air live right here on the 1412 Radio Network. And this year, we're pulling out all the stops. We have this year not one, but 2 breakout sessions in the afternoon.
Oh, snap.
I mean, we will have a breakout session, Identity School at 2 p.m. daily with Dr. Glenn Hartline. Identity School, Dr. Glenn Hartline. And then at 4 p.m. daily, Tom Tompkins Jr., Tommy Tompkins. He's going to be talking business leadership from a Christian standpoint. Now, Matt, where's Tom from? Where did he study?
He went to Charis Bible School, which is Andrew Womack. He graduated from the third-year business school.
Yes.
Program there, but he's from Shreveport, Louisiana.
But he went to school there for that. So he's going to be talking business leadership from a Christian standpoint. Listen to this lineup. We've got Matt Davis coming in from Hawaii. You've got myself. You've got Mike Bateman from the Gospel According to Mike radio show. I mentioned Glenn Hartline from the Heart to Heart radio program. Tom Tompkins, he's going to have a radio program soon here on the 1412. The Prophetess. I don't say these words lightly. The 6-foot-tall black woman from Texas. She's coming into town. The Prophetess, Reverend Helen Lowry. She's going to be there. She's going to be joining us. Revivalist Kirk DeMars from Move Ministries. He's going to be with us. He's got a radio program on here as well. Shy is going to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody can come and meet her. She's going to be with us. She's going to be at some of the meetings. What else do we have? We have Pastors Mark and Kim Spellman from Faith and Family Radio program. And then we have the Apostle Paul himself, Pastor David Craig from David Craig Ministries radio program right here. And who knows who else is going to show up? There's always more.
Right.
There's always more that show up. All crammed into the studio at the Laurie Terrace Mall in Laurie, Missouri. So I want you to join us in person if you can. Now, look, we have some special rates at the Sleep Inn and Suites in Camdenton, Missouri. We got some special rates there. I want you to call them. I want you to tell them that you were Two Guys in the Bible, and they're going to cut those rates almost in half for you. So it's pretty good. Again, Tuesday, January the 3rd through Friday the 6th. Get ready. Also, let me mention that this past weekend, I was handed the final draft to my first book, 7 Days with a Witch. So that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Get ready to get a copy of your own. That's coming out soon. It's going to go to print here pretty soon. Well, we have so much to talk about today. We are taking a poll. I want to take a poll with the recent revelation of this audio clip. Well, I guess it has a video. It's got a video with it. But this was the Donald's October surprise. This video where Trump has been caught saying some pretty nasty things. And with the, again, the new leaked emails from Hillary Clinton. You all remember there's emails, right? I have to keep asking this question because I'm not hearing anything about emails on the news cycle. Donald Trump said some things, but I'm not hearing about emails on the news cycle. So again, this Trump video is taking over the world. But here's what I want. I want to take a poll today. I want to hear from you.
That's right. We do want to hear from you today. With Donald Trump's caught saying vulgarities about women and the leaked emails about Hillary's plans, does any of this change your mind about who you are going to vote for? Or does it change your mind about voting at all? That maybe you will opt out of voting because of these two candidates' issues? Get in touch with us today. We want to hear from you. Contact us by email at don@TwoGuysAndABible.com. Text at 573-216-1871, or get in the chat room today if you're watching through live video and post there. Matt will get to those. Did these new revelations about these candidates change your mind as to who you will vote for, or possibly change your mind about voting at all?
You know, I was really proud of myself when you read the phone number that I actually got my own phone number right for the first time in 3 weeks.
I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, I've been sending Shy the wrong phone number, and I don't realize it's wrong until she says it, that I don't even know my own phone number.
I mean, it sounds good either way, I think.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, let me start off today's show by going off on the double standard that I'm seeing. It's go-off time. This just puts me through the roof, some of this stuff. And you guys can jump in at any point. I'm not even really sure where to begin. But how about the biggest scandal, right? Donald Trump's leaked video and audio. Let's look at this first. If you've been living in a cave, you're just coming out today, listening to the program, you may not know what took place last Friday. So let me catch you up here.
Hold on to your britches.
Yeah. Mom, I will not say words that Donald Trump said, so you don't have to cringe when I'm reading this story to you, Mom. My mother's listening. It keeps me in check, with my mother listening. Shy lets me get away with some things.
Sometimes.
Mom, not so much. Yeah.
There's a balance.
No.
There is. Sometimes I can't look at Shy, and I keep rolling so that I don't get the look. But a story broke Friday by the Washington Post that a video was leaked that Donald Trump, he's talking to an Access Hollywood reporter about women. This video was taped 11 years ago. 11 years ago in 2005. And it caught Trump saying some really very vulgar things that, listen, there is absolutely no excuse for it. No excuse for it. That being said, so I've listened to show after show. I'm listening to both sides over the weekend, and he said stuff that I'm going to tell you, I'd punch him in the face if my daughters had been in there, been talked about that way. I mean, seriously, yeah, it was terrible. There's no doubt about it. It was horrible. This was Donald Trump, a billionaire businessman, playboy, who was a reality star, not the Pope, right? Still not the Pope, by the way. I'm not either.
Wait a minute. We're not electing him the Pope of the nation?
Right.
That now he must be running for spiritual leader of the nation because everybody's just appalled. I mean,
yeah,
he was going to be the head spiritual leader of this nation.
Yes. I think we've placed too much of that onto our presidents in the past. We looked at the Bushes. Now, I want to remind people, you remember when the last Bush came into office, there was a lot said about his drinking. There was a lot said about his drug use. There was a lot said about some of the things that he did when he was down in Texas. And but then but Billy Graham, who is Jesus's right-hand man, Billy Graham came out and said, but see, I had a talk with him. So we all said it was okay. Well, Bush is a Christian now, and we look to him to be our spiritual leader.
Clean.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to remind people. Right? I want to remind people because there was a lot said about his drug use. There was a lot said about Bush and his drug use. But we were very forgiving then. Not so much now. We're not so much forgiving now. Because, hey, smoking dope's no big deal now.
Right.
Matter of fact, he's cool for it now, right? Trump's not so cool because he doesn't smoke dope, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking at double standards that just really drive me nuts. I think we forgot. Bush came into office with a lot of scandal on him as well. But we were very forgiving when somebody came out and said, but hey, he got born again. He did. Now, I want to ask which one of you shook his hand and asked him that question. Well, none of you did. None of you met him personally. I'm just talking about double standard today. No doubt it was horrible what he said. Billionaire businessman, playboy, reality star, not the Pope. But this behavior doesn't surprise me in any way coming from that man at that time in his life. This does not surprise me in any way. This did not surprise me. This did not catch me off guard. When I heard the audio played, which I will not play on here, and I will not say the things that he said, but when I heard the audio, I didn't go, it didn't faze me in any way. Thinking that he would have said something like that at that time in his life did not faze me at all.
Right.
I'm not saying I liked it. I'm just saying there was no shock value to it in any way for me when I heard that. I'm not excusing it, but here's what I'm doing. I'm saying stop trying to buy into the shock value of it. They're trying to get you to be shocked that he said this. There is no shock of Donald Trump 11 years ago talking that way. This is no shock to me in any way. There's no shock. Go back and look at all this. Now they're trying to pull up Howard Stern stuff, right? My God, the name Howard Stern right there ought to tell you there's going to be stuff said on that radio show. If you went on Howard Stern. So I thought it was really cool that after, again, I want to talk double standard to you. So here we have Megyn Kelly from Fox News. Princess Megyn. Yeah. Here's Megyn Kelly on Fox News after the debate. And she's sitting there. What's the girl's name who's Trump's, the dark-haired girl, Trump's right-hand gal?
Kellyanne Conway.
Okay, so they're talking. And she's grilling, because you remember Trump and Kelly got into quite a problem there during debates back in the day. They got in a big scuffle, right? So because she came out attacking him and he fought back. So, and again, he said things that were ridiculous, no problem. But so I loved it because here's Megyn Kelly sitting there. And of course, she's after Trump now, right? And she is asking this woman, would you ever talk that way? Would you ever say that as a woman? How can you still be okay with being on Trump's campaign and helping him? And she said, look, I have brothers and they've talked this way. They've talked that way to you? No, they quit talking that way when I walk in the room, but I have brothers. So she's trying to excuse it a little bit. But here's what I love. Megyn kept saying, I've never talked that way. I've never talked that way. Do you talk that way? I, as a woman, have never talked that way. Certainly you don't talk that way. And she said that over and over again. I don't talk that way. Oops. Guess what? You're caught on video, Princess Megyn, talking that way when you were on the Howard Stern show.
on Howard Stern.
I am not going to mention the things that she talked about because I can't sit here in a room with Shy and talk about that stuff, or knowing that my mother's out there listening, or knowing that I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. But I will say that she was asked about premarital sex and said, I'm absolutely fine with premarital sex. That was the nicest thing that she said, because they got into some specifics about sexual activity. Howard Stern, I mean,
right.
Scumbag. Mm-hmm. You know, Father God, go get him. I'm fine with that. But the guy's a scumbag. And the things that they talk. So again, double standard. I loved how she sat there thinking that somehow her video wouldn't be leaked. Mm-hmm. Well, it's leaked. But again, here's the media, right? If you don't bother to follow up on that story, you're sitting there going, that's right, Megan, I don't talk that way. You probably don't. Right. And you haven't been on Howard Stern. Don't go on Howard Stern. Don't listen to Howard Stern. Don't even say the name Howard Stern. But my point is this, the double standard is it's disgusting. It's just stop trying to buy into the shock value. It's no surprise at all. None. 11 years ago, there's no surprise. That's exactly who Trump was. He was a self-absorbed, egotistical playboy billionaire. No doubt about it. The man has been caught talking about women. The man has been divorced a few times. I mean, this is just, there's no doubt about it. But here's my thing. How can anyone as a Christian judge this man for sins from 11 years ago? I am sick and tired of hearing how Christians are coming out saying you can't be a Christian and support Trump. How can you be a Christian and judge a man for things that he did 11 years ago? Right. That's my question. I just want to flip it around. I hate double standard on this stuff. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a good Christian thing to do what he did. I'm just asking. I don't like what he said. I don't like the man now, to be truthful, but how dare we? Now, I have no idea personally where Trump is with the Lord, with Jesus, because again, that was my point. I've never shaken the man's hand. I've never sat down across from a desk with him and shared a taco bowl and asked him where he stands with Jesus. I've not done that. I have no idea. I've heard from a whole bunch of Christian leaders that he's a newly born again. He's newly born again. I've heard this from Christian leaders. And what I love about this even more is this, coming from Christian leaders that all these people looked up to. Support. We quote them all the time. There's the King James, there's the Amplified, and there's the Kenneth Copeland. Right?
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Oh, yes.
These are all the people that we love and we support, and it's coming from all the Christian leaders that we look up to. We watch their shows, we read their books, we allow them into our homes, we call their ministries, we send them money. But now all of a sudden, well, I don't know. I mean, I know what they're saying, but now all of a sudden I don't want to listen to them. They've stood in the room with Donald Trump and they're telling me that he's born again. Now, I've not heard Trump in the last 11 minutes talk about women like that. This is my point. If he's newly born again, we have doubts about Mr. Trump. And I'm hearing a whole bunch of people saying this is just a stunt. It's a political move to get the evangelicals. Says who? How do you know? I don't know either. I'm just asking questions today. How do you know? I grew up in a church and was born again. And I'm going to tell you what, I did some pretty bad things. As a baby Christian. Shoot, as a mature Christian. I've done some things that I don't want you to video. Right?
Yeah.
Come on. I've done some things. I've done some things that I'm glad there were no cameras rolling. And so all the holier than thou people, where do you get off? This is my irritation today. How would you like someone to follow you around recording all your private conversations? I would love to hear what you're saying. Let's just follow you around for a year with audio rolling at all times when you don't think there's audio rolling and you're talking to your buddies, you're talking to your friends, you just got mad at your spouse. Let's see how you talk to your kids. Let's see what some of the things that you say. Let's video some of the shows that you watch.
You're unfit, Donnie, to run a radio show.
Absolutely I am. I know I am. I know I am. That's why we had to buy the radio station so we could do this stuff. Nobody else would let us on, I guarantee you. How would you like someone following you around? What did you say and do in the past? I'm not condoning it, like I said, but this is a double standard that makes Christianity sickening to the world. Mm-hmm. This is the divisive stuff that the devil's trying to do, and he's making this look sick. Say nothing at all. I'm not saying you got to support him. What I'm saying is say nothing at all, because when we're dealing with the Christian aspect of it, it's very divisive, and this is what makes the world sick, is that, see, look at those Christians, holier than thou, pointing their fingers at a man like Trump when I just saw you in the bar last week. Are you kidding me? When 5 years ago I was sitting next to you at the strip club. Are you kidding me? Right? I mean, this is how the world looks at this. The double standard, it's sickening. Top Christian leaders coming out and talking like they've never done anything. And I love that all these liberal sites are bashing believers who support Trump like they know anything about religion or God or forgiveness of sins, trying to make it out like we're immoral if we're going to support him. And then let's toss in Mr. Glenn Beck, Mr. Amazing. He's working so hard against Trump, I can't even get into that one yet. But how about all the Christians on Facebook who are now not going to vote Trump, going third party or no vote because of a video from 11 years ago? And they like to toss out the moral standard out there. I get it. Well, we're not running for president, are we? That's the argument. Sure, I've done things, but I'm not running for president. I'm not running for the highest office in the land. Nope. But I want to know what an 11-year-old video has to do with my religious freedom. I want to know, Trump chasing skirts, what's that got to do with my Second Amendment rights? Trump talks like an idiot. How's that going to affect killing the unborn? This is what I want to know. What Trump said, how does that affect me 11 years now? How's that going to affect the killing of the unborn? Because the things that Hillary is saying now affects every one of those things. What Trump said then has nothing to do with any of those real issues right there. None. I know the real issue is that the Trump supporters, I know you're still gonna be his supporters, except for the spineless, and I say spineless RNC people bailing on him, worthless. Yes. Other politicians. But overall, I get that most who are supporting them still are going to. But what about you never Trumpers? Trying to say, oh, we told you so. We told you so. What about all the Democrats saying, we told you so? How about Hillary herself? Oh, look at him. Shut up. This is a double standard. It's sickening. It's sickening. Out there acting like you don't hear that or worse when you're show gouging Netflix weekends. Are you kidding me? You're watching worse. You're hearing worse. But Trump, on purpose.
Trump said it, though.
Paying to hear it. But I get it. You're not running for president. I'm not condoning what he said. I hate what he said. There's no excuse in any way, shape, or form as to what he said. What a scumbag. But I was a scumbag. And I'm one bad decision away from being a scumbag again.
That's right.
I mean, think about it. I'm so tired of the double standard that's set up here. So here's the argument that I'm seeing. This is what I love. Trump comes out 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Again, I hope you don't have some audio of you from 11 days ago, but fine. I've heard worse from the pulpit. I'll tell you that. People get riled up. 11 years ago, he says this stuff. And so the argument has shifted because at first, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he said such a thing. This is horrible. I can't believe it. Well, then people said what I just said. Many of you have said things that are just as bad or worse. Okay, maybe. I know some pastors who have said worse. I promise you. I'm talking about in their past, not now. But okay, so Trump comes out, makes some attempt at an apology, but shifts over to Bill Clinton and uses the defense that, hey, I said some things. I make no excuse. I did it. I'm not trying to pretend I'm someone that I'm not, but I'm sorry. But Bill Clinton, he was accused of this and this woman and that woman. It's been followed by scandal for years. And of course, who can forget the whole Monica Lewinsky thing? That happened. That happened. In the White House. How did that affect you at the dinner table? Actions were taking place in the White House, got caught, got impeached. But how did that affect you at your job? What I'm saying is this, I'm not excusing what happened there, but what happened there didn't affect you, did it? But this video from 11 years ago somehow is going to affect my national security because he said some things. Somehow this is going to affect the abortion issue because he said some things. Bill Clinton was doing some things and we all survived. Proved. Impeached for it. And so that's all good. So people are saying, you know what? Bill's not running for president this time. So who cares? What's this got to do with anything? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to tell you what, though. His influence will certainly be felt in a Hillary White House. I promise you that. So we have some people now shifting to, well, it's more than leaked audio. It's an admission to sexual assault. Now it's not bad enough that it's leaked audio. This is an admission to, I'm reading a Christian's post on Facebook. Thank God for Facebook. I'm reading someone who's a, Christian. They were a cruiser. They loved Cruz, Ted Cruz. When he left, everything fell apart.
He's running.
Yeah, he's not.
Still in the race.
He's out. But so he said that he did this to women. Well, now yesterday, the two women mentioned in this whole thing came out and said nothing like that at all. Neither one said Trump did anything to him, period. That's it. They came out and said, no, he talked a big talk, but he didn't touch us. He didn't do anything. He might have talked about what he wanted to do to us, but he didn't do that. Those two women came out and said that, period. That's it. It's finished. So why isn't it finished? Right? I'm asking because the Clinton defense has been, well, Bill was accused, but it was never proven. And that's been the whole defense of Hillary's whole campaign, is that she's been accused of using her private email server for classified information. The FBI director says, yes, she had classified emails on there, accused of breaking the law, accused of exposing national security secrets as the Secretary of State, accused of letting men die at Benghazi, accused of Whitewater down in Arkansas, accused of letting Bill have affairs so that she wouldn't have to sleep with him, accused of these emails with emails to back it up, leaked information through the unlawful use of a private email server, accused of changing her stance on just about every single issue that she talks about today. Accused, but never proven. So we can't talk about Hillary's emails because the FBI director said so. We can't talk about Bill because accused, but not proven. We can talk about anything to do, we can't talk about anything to do with 30 years of scandals surrounding the Democratic candidate for president because she has been let off of everything. Nothing has ever stuck to them, ever. Accused for 30 years and not one scandal stuck ever. Scandals about emails, sex scandals, killing scandals, backroom deal scandals, stealing money scandals, pay for play scandal, Iran scandal. And nope, can't talk about that because even though we have emails that were written by her with her own hands pressing the keys. And of course, now here's what I love. Here's how they're spinning this. I love this. This is so amazing. Now the news cycle has started a new cover-up for the Clintons on these email leaks. I love this. Watch the spin as it comes out before the next debate. You're going to start hearing this a whole bunch. I already thought about it, and a woman came on the news on Fox News this morning and confirmed what I knew they were going to do with this. They're saying that it's the Russians trying to rig our elections, right? That's what they're saying. It's the Russians that are trying to rig our elections. And so the new spin on these emails is this. They're probably not even real emails. The Russians made them up and just said they're Clinton emails. They're not even real emails at all. They just made this up. That's how they're going to spin all the other emails that come out now. As horrible as they're going to be, the WikiLeaks emails, is when they come out, they're going to say, no, he's with the Russians. They're going to protect. He's with the Russians, and they're all doing this. This is how they're going to spin everything that's going to come out. I just heard it this morning. Anything that's leaked from here on out is going to be talked about as these are made up emails, and they're acting like it's a Clinton leaked email. It's not open to discussion because we haven't proved anything. So they're probably not even real emails. And so no convictions made, so you can't talk about that. But Trump, she says, I bet he didn't even pay any taxes at all. No proof of that. But we can talk all day long about Trump's taxes with no proof. Never proven. I bet he doesn't have as much money as he says he has. For one, who gives a rat's? If the man doesn't have two nickels to rub together, I'm not asking him to do my finances. I'm not asking for a loan. No proof, but let's talk about that as part of the debate. Let's talk about Trump's business deals that he did illegally. Oh, but wait, no proof. And never had any charges placed against him. But let's talk about that. And now here's audio of this idiot. And he is an idiot for saying it. 11 years ago, I was an idiot. But here he's talking trash about women. And now we have people moving from that's a really dumb thing you said, Donald. That's a horrible thing you said, Donald. That's disgusting and sickening, Donald. Moved from that to now he's admitting sexual assault. No proof, though. A whole lot of talk, but nothing. But now this is what's taken over the news cycle. He said dumb things, horrible things. He cannot be our president. Nope. Either we get to talk about the emails, the Clinton Foundation, because these last two presidential debates have been a joke, just a horrible, sickening joke. There's no way that anybody with half a brain and a kindergarten education can say that these have been great and very fair and balanced. No way. The first one, Lester Holt. Love this, Jim. Oh, wait, I can't talk about him. He's black, isn't he? I gotta be careful.
You're racist, Donnie. Yeah.
This is how ridiculous that it's gotten, right? That I even have to joke about that. The media spun this so good. This is so good. The first presidential debate had people nailing Donald Trump for interrupting Hillary, right? That's what they were so mad that he was interrupting Hillary. Oh, Hillary didn't interrupt Trump hardly at all. Let's look at the real numbers. This is a debate moderator, fair debating, right? Debate moderator. Mr. Holt interrupted, check this out. Mr. Holt interrupted Donald Trump 41 times in 90 minutes. Now you're thinking that sounds like a lot. Listen to this broken down. That's an average of every 2.19 minutes. Lester Holt interrupted the Republican nominee and what he was saying. Every 2.19 minutes. Guess how many for Hillary? 7 times. 7 times Lester Holt interrupted Clinton. Once every 12.8 minutes. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me why Hillary wouldn't need to interrupt Trump. She wouldn't need to interrupt Trump. She would have to interrupt Lester Holt's interruption to interrupt Trump. Right? But it was spun to say Trump interrupted Clinton all the way through the debates, and she hardly said anything to interrupt him. Look how presidential she looked. How could she?
Right.
He couldn't get a 2-minute point across without being cut off, while she could ramble on with a 12-minute section of never getting interrupted. Who do you think would come out looking better at that point? You can't make a point in 2 minutes without the moderator stopping you. And the greatest amount of interruptions came when Holt asked Trump about his supposed support for the Iraq war. Trump denied it, and Holt refused to believe that he didn't support it. Trump tried explaining, and he was interrupted 11 times on that topic alone before Holt went on and left him standing there not able to accept, which, by the way, fact checkers found Holt and Clinton to be 100% wrong about saying that Trump supported the war. Video was released about that, but we don't want to talk about that video. We don't want to talk about that video. No, Trump 11 years ago said really horrible things about women. I think he committed sexual assault. These debates are sick, and we're going to talk more about the second one. Again, you cannot tell me that it was fair. You can't, because we had a whole bunch of stuff going on there. What's that?
Are you fact checking Donnie here?
Right, as we do this. This is what I do.
You gotta check it out.
Fact checking.
You gotta check it out. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on there, and we're going to talk about this after the break. I want to hear from Matt. I want to hear from Shai. And, of course, we want to hear from you today. Right. Contact us. Have you changed your mind about who you're voting for? Maybe not voting at all. Did this leaked audio upset you? Contact us. Email me, Don@TwoGuysAndABible.com. Text 573-216-1871. Get in the chat room. This is the 1412 Live on the 1412 Radio Network. We'll be right back.
We want to hear from you today. Call us with your questions, comments, or prayer requests. 573-216-1871.
Thank you for listening to the 1412 Radio Network. We also want to invite you to watch Don Allen's Christ the Healer television program. Don's message will open your eyes to living life as God intended. Watch Christ the Healer 9 p.m. Central Standard Time every Saturday evening. You'll find Christ the Healer on GEB America through DirecTV Channel 363 or watch it online at gebamerica.com. Christ the Healer is also found on Roku systems and KGEB TV 53 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We can also be seen Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on Lake TV. You can find Lake TV through Charter.
This is 1412 Live, a program dedicated to giving you the unfiltered Word of God.
All right, I'm your co-host Shai here with Don Allen, and we have Matt on Skype today. You are joining us on the 1412 Live. If you're still here, you are a brave soul. If
Yes.
you are just tuning in, you don't want to miss what we've got coming up for you. But we want to touch on something we just got.
Yeah, I just got something sent to me from a pastor. I won't mention the pastor's name, but a pastor that's out there listening, hearing all this ranting going on, says, doesn't change a thing for me. It reveals Trump is impulsive, doesn't always calculate his words then and now. He is a calculating businessman and knows how to lead. The opponent is a calculating politician, measures the words used so that they can be applied as needed, meanwhile doing deeds in darkness, not just 11 years ago, but throughout a political career. The media has an agenda. The Clinton establishment has an agenda. Trump has one too. It appears to be protecting private business, private rights, and religious rights. Sounds like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to me, pastor.
Boom.
Booyah. Drop the mic and go home,
Mic
kids.
drop.
Yeah.
That's from a pastor, born again, spirit-filled pastor right there, who I guarantee you did not, a pastor that has daughters.
Aha.
Yeah, he has daughters, and I guarantee it doesn't approve of what Trump said. But there you go. These are real issues that he mentioned, right?
Right.
Real issues from today, not 11 years ago.
Well, and have you heard too, I heard this morning that the leaked audio might be fake. That certain,
doctored?
Yes,
No.
that certain words that were said might be placed in
There's
there.
reports out there for sure that
Yeah.
it might have been edited, and he was really saying that those things were as a single man, but they didn't put that in the audio.
Right.
You hear that?
Because the audio dips in and out too much for them to think
Doesn't
that it's,
it?
Yeah, so the plot thickens.
Woo! Nice work. How about some debate fact checking today? Can we talk a little bit about this? Matt, you got anything you want to throw in there before we dive into this one? I know you've got some information out there going on the Big Island.
Oh my gosh, we got a bunch. Did Shai want to talk about her thing first, though?
I don't know.
Gosh.
There's a lot to be said.
Well, I mean, I have a lot to say, but at the same time, I think people are. Go
off a little bit, Shai.
Tell us.
I'm going to pull a Matt on you. As a millennial, Shai.
And I'm a female.
I'm
a female millennial.
Yes.
Yeah, can you speak on this, Shai, since you're female? Because we really can't.
No.
So we need to hear from your perspective.
I mean, I just think people get too dang offended. We look about these things that Donald Trump says, and he said this, and he might have, said these things about women in this last video that might not even be real. But I just don't understand why people are getting so upset over things that have been said. Words are offensive, I guess, but actions aren't.
Now, I mean, would you be upset if he said that 11 days ago?
Of course.
I mean, would it weigh more on you if it was said 11 days ago?
I mean, it might be a little more alarming, but it wouldn't change. It wouldn't change, I don't think, my mindset of what he looks like as a leader, because like you talked about earlier, you know what I mean? If we had cameras following us 24/7, I'm sure there were things, if
yesterday would have been a bad day to have cameras in this office when this iPad wasn't.
If everybody had leaked audio, I think everybody would have room for offense. But I'm not dismissing what he said as appropriate. It's definitely not okay. But I think people are just too offended, and that was 11 years ago. 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think it's so stupid. And people my age are now watching this video, and I was telling Donnie that it's getting talked about more at work now, just how awful Donald Trump is because of these things that he said, and it's getting on my dang nerves because...
Well, Shai, these are the same people who'll watch crazy movies and post all this stuff. This is all the Hollywood crowd, right?
Right.
Who all of a sudden now, Trump must be responsible for them finding religion because they're all acting lily white, holier than thou, even though they'll watch movies that are 10 times worse than what Trump said.
Right.
And you've heard him talk like this where you work at the restaurant, the bar,
absolutely.
right?
Just about every place that I've worked in the restaurant industry, that's just what it is what it is. I don't want to say boys will be boys, but it's locker room talk. It's, Yeah. I mean,
I understand but he was old enough to know better or whatever you want to say, I guess. But again, the world he lives in is way, I'm talking about as a businessman, billionaire, playboy at that time. I mean, that lifestyle, Hollywood lifestyle, 11 years ago.
But wait a minute.
Wow.
It's okay. It's okay if all these singers and gangster rap and Miley Cyrus gets on there and shake their thing and do these acts on video.
Right.
And all that apparently is okay for them to do. No problem.
Right.
But
and
they can they can judge Trump for saying something 11
And
years
those aren't
ago,
even
they
leaked
They can
videos.
get on TV.
You know, these are things that are on TV that millions of people tune into. It's not just something that pops up on their Facebook that they happen to click on because it's going to be, you know, juicy and interesting. This is stuff that people go out of their way to watch, and then they're going to be offended by a 2-minute long audio clip that may not even be real.
But we didn't want to take time to find out if it was. We
Right.
just wanted to jump
We just
right
wanted
on
to
it.
watch it and find another reason to find Trump unsuitable to be our president because of what he said 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Now I want to know, does that disqualify him from appointing 4 pro-life Supreme Court justices? Because that's basically what you're giving up. If people are out there and you just can't handle this because he's such an egomaniac, you want to lose those pro-life appointments?
I just think people are just so quick to I don't know, like they're super double-minded and they're so quick to flip their opinions at the drop of a hat. I had someone tell me the other day because Trump made a comment in the debate and said, I don't know anything about Russia. I don't know anything about Russia. And then he said, I don't know anything about the involvement, you know, inside of Russia. So he backed up what he was saying, but someone told me the other day, oh, well, I don't want someone as my president who doesn't know anything about Russia. And I'm assuming maybe they had clicked on something, you know, well, Trump says he doesn't know anything about Russia.
Yeah.
But these are what people are going off of. They're just going off of these little one-liners and immediately, you know, flipping their opinions because of one thing that was said.
Yeah.
Shai, that is a perfect point because overall, most of the fact-check garbage out there is that they fact-check these things, just like you said, according to misinterpreting what somebody said on both sides, really.
Right.
But mostly on the Trump side. So they'll take something like that and say, well, a classic example is, I love this. Well, Trump said she acid washed her emails. And then he said he bleached.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one.
Now,
that's a great one.
The fact checkers, all the fact checkers out there are saying it's not possible to use acid on emails. See, Trump was lying. You can't use acid on there. What he was talking about was the software called BleachBit that was used to delete the emails and to wipe out the traces of them. Because even when you delete an email, there's still a print on the software, and they can still extract those. And so the software program that they were used is called BleachBit. Mm-hmm. Well, the fact checkers said Trump was lying about that. You can't. Hillary didn't physically acid wash her emails.
That'd be a lot.
So let's talk about that. Let's jump into this. Let's discuss this debate fact checking. Here's how NBC, NBC, a trusted name in journalism, NBC fact checked the second debate. Yep. Here's what they think needed checked for us so that we would not be led astray. This is what's so important coming up in our world. National security. Let's fact check national security concerns and ISIS and the economy. Let's fact check these candidates. NBC fact checkers. This is right off of their own page here. Let's be sure that they're getting their facts straight about the economic state of the country. Let's be sure that they're telling the truth about unemployment. Let's be sure that the American people have the facts right about the border security, illegal immigration. Let's hit the cold, hard facts with NBC. Let's see what they found here. Trump said that he didn't. This is what they fact checked. This is what's so important that you've got to know this. This is what they said. Not border security, not economic stability, not dead bodies being found in VA hospitals that are rotting corpses because they refuse to bury them with the federal money that we've been giving them. No.
Yeah.
It said this. Trump said he didn't urge people to check out a sex tape. We're going to fact check that Trump said that he did not tell people to check out a sex tape about former Miss Universe, Alicia Machado or whatever. Oh, he did, though. They said he did tell people to go check it out. Oh,
good. Perfect example of what Shai's saying. Because there was a tape. She was on a reality show. It's very well known. She was on a reality show and there was a sex scene. And that's what he was talking about.
But this is what I love. I feel so much better now. I can sleep at night because, you know, I thought Trump said, look at a sex tape. I thought he did. I knew he was encouraging us to do so. I just knew it. Look where he's leading our children. He's encouraging them to watch sex tapes. I mean, good job, NBC. Good job, NBC. I just knew he said that. I knew it. Whew, I can go on now and try to figure out how to pay my light bill now because I know that.
Meanwhile, we released two banks in Iran, a terrorism state. We released them 8 years ahead of time.
Matt,
the sanctions against these banks. But no, we're not going to talk about that.
NBC did not fact check that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
You don't know.
Here's the other one.
Got that on some right-wing website.
Yeah, you're watching Van Jones or something, right? Okay, Trump said this. Trump said, now this one's kind of important. Trump said healthcare costs are going up by 68%, 59%, 71%. The national estimate ranges are far lower. Good. Again, don't worry about the fact that healthcare costs are going up. Even though you cannot afford it now, let's just be sure that you know that Trump messed up on the exact number of how much higher this unaffordable health care is going up. Let's be sure not to fact check Trump's plan for lowering it. No. Let's go and check that it's not going up 68, 59, or 71%. Guess what? They said that this statement was cherry picking, meaning what? That yes, healthcare has actually gone up 68% in some places. 59% in some places, and even up by 71% in some places. That is true.
He didn't have the exact number. But even NPR, I was checking this out, guys.
No, they don't like Trump.
NPR on their, they're not the bastion of conservative media. They fact-checked this here on their debate coverage, and they said in the past 5 years, the average cost of healthcare to families before their insurance kicks in has risen 67%.
Wait. But so, he said 59, 71, and 68. Wrong.
All lies. Liar. He's a big fat liar.
Liar. He said 68, and it was actually 67. See, how can you trust somebody?
So that's the thing. They want a blanket statement that this is false.
Forget the fact it's 67% raised.
Yeah. And really, it's not false because it actually happened in 3 places. It's not false. Incredible. What else? What other hard-hitting facts checking has been brought to us by NBC, a trusted name in journalism? Shai, you got some?
Trump said that Clinton acid washed her private email server. Well, she didn't. Yes. She used an app called BleachBit, not a corrosive chemical.
That's what it actually said.
In case you guys were wondering.
That's what it actually said on the fact check. It actually said that she did not use a corrosive chemical. That's what it actually says. Does NBC think that we are the biggest idiots on the planet?
We are a basket of deplorables.
We are.
In case you forgot, we're deplorables.
We need Jay to weigh in on this, the tech guy, you know, to find out if Trump is fit to be president, since he said that acid washed instead of BleachBit. I mean, our technical expert console.
Jay, do we pour, if we delete our stuff, do we pour acid on it? Jay says you have advisors that know this stuff for you. That's the thing about being president. You don't have to know that.
So wait a minute. So you hire people who know what they're doing?
So you surround. I thought the president just knew it all, and everybody else were just puppets. I didn't know. I thought you just hired folks for their looks and stuff. Because Pence is a great-looking guy. He looks presidential. He looks like he belongs on a $3 bill or something. I mean, he looks cool. He's cool looking, right? Or on the 20. Wait, we're gonna replace the photo on the 20. Isn't that right? Isn't that what we're talking about? Yeah. We got to replace the photo on the 20.
Isn't it going to be Oprah or something like that?
It should be Oprah, I think, or Beyonce. One of those two. I don't know.
Shy, on these, Have you been talking at work and hearing people talk at work about all this stuff on the debate?
She's been talking at work. She went off on that a little bit before the show. She's been talking at work.
Yes, I just have this like internal Donald Trump defense mode, like this switch that just flips, and I just tell people I can't do it. I don't have time to have this conversation with you right now.
For Trump babies.
I have to defend my little Donald Trump baby.
Are they talking about the fact check stuff? Are people looking this stuff up and really focusing on these little trivial issues? No, and that's what's so frustrating is because they give me such a hard time, you know, because I'm not in love with Donald Trump. Disclaimer, don't love him, but I'm supporting him.
But as one that has great hair, you respect him.
Of course.
Yes.
And that's the only reason why I really no.
Yes.
But you know, we do talk about things like that, and they give me such a hard time because, well, Donald Trump said this, and they watched a video of, you know, a 2-minute compilation of the really dumb things that Donald Trump said. And so how can you, someone, you know, you're a Christian and you're a really smart young woman, how can you support someone like that? And I just can't. I don't even go there.
They're judging you that you're a Christian, but they don't hold themselves to the standards that they're saying you should be.
Right.
You should be
well,
ashamed.
because they don't claim to be Christian,
you're supposed
so it's
to vote
okay.
for Hillary because you're a Christian? Is that what they're saying?
I think because I'm a woman, and Hillary is for women and children.
Oh.
She always has
so
been.
that's what I'm supposed to do, you know. And as a woman, I'm probably supposed to have children. So I think she would be a really great leader for me and my future family.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
The children.
It's for the children, Matt. It's for the children.
I can't handle it.
What did so tell us this? Something we talked about Russia. What do you got on Russia?
Trump said that Clinton doesn't know Russia hacked the DNC. U.S. intelligence has said that they very likely did. Oh, they very likely.
I mean, that's a solid statement.
That's
right there.
very likely that they very likely did.
Yeah.
And it's the it's the Obama administration. So yeah. You know, they said it,
right?
And they've never lied.
It's pretty likely.
They didn't lie about the ransom money just paid to Iran a couple weeks ago.
No.
The total of 1.2 billion plus ransom and payments that have been made to Iran in cash. The 400 million that got dropped off on the airplane at the same day the hostages were released. That's the same administration. That's the same U.S. intelligence that said they very likely did.
It's a double standard.
That's right.
Double standard.
And they aren't sure because they don't have any absolute evidence, but because Trump said she didn't know, but the U.S. intelligence agency said maybe it was them. Well, that's a fact right there. The fact is that maybe it's very likely they might have, could be the Russians. Maybe, probably. So Trump, you're probably, might be, maybe, possibly, you could be very likely wrong. And that may be. Those are the facts, according to NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Trump said that Clinton got a man accused of raping a 12-year-old girl off his charges. She didn't. That's what NBC says. Again, what this has to do with our country, I don't know. But what did happen is that she did take the case and the man plea bargained. Hillary's defense in this is that she says that she didn't want to take the case but did it anyways. But she really didn't want to. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes it all better, right?
Yeah, she didn't want to take it, though.
Right. But it might be likely that she did. Yeah. So the real facts are that, yes, Hillary didn't get this man totally freed. A 40-something-year-old raped a 12-year-old. And yes, Hillary didn't get him totally off, freed. No, she set it up for a plea bargain that allowed a man a 5-year sentence instead of a 15, then negotiated it to a lesser sentence of 4 years, of that being 5 suspended, and allowed 2 months of time served credit. So he stayed in jail for 10 months for raping a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, well, that's way better. She didn't get him off,
right.
though.
Oh, but Trump said something 11 years ago.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Bring that up. There's also NPR reports on that whole story that Hillary is on record suggesting that this girl was at fault for making previous advances to adult men.
Yeah, it
she
actually
is on
said that. Yeah.
Talking about the girl.
That she had issues. And so because she was 12 years old and had issues that leaned towards liking older men, well, that's why she got it. That's why she got raped by this 40-year-old. And but Hillary really didn't want to take the case, guys. Golly gee, I feel really bad about it. Ha, 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 ha. because
she loves the children.
Laughing.
How
She
could
loves
she?
the children, and
She's done
it was
so much.
a girl.
She's done
It was
so much
a
for
young
children.
woman.
She wouldn't do that. It's in 1975, 27-year-old HRC, that's Hillary Rodham at the time, is Hillary Rodham, court-appointed lawyer. Okay, recordings taped for an interview years later on the trial, but never published, put out by the Washington Free Beacon, depict Clinton laughing several times discussing the case in a casual and cynical way.
Well, that was a fact check that they checked. It said that Trump said Clinton laughed. Again, my whole point is this. This is the hard-hitting facts that we're going to check from the debate. NBC, front page of their website. These are the hard-hitting facts from the excellence in journalism. NBC, Trump said Clinton laughed at a child rape victim. She didn't. That's important to know. Hello, listen, we have tapes with the audio of her telling the story about a 12-year-old getting raped, and she chuckled. She did. But they said she was laughing about something else.
Yeah.
That's how they explained it on the thing that I read.
She signed an affidavit and said that she questioned the 12-year-old's honesty, saying she made accusations in the past and had sought out older men. That is a signed affidavit by Hillary Rodham talking about the 12-year-old. So forget the laughing.
Wait. Did she sign it, or did Putin sign it and say that she signed it?
It's maybe very likely.
It's very likely that the Russians signed it.
Maybe Trump signed it.
Could be Rush. Rush Limbaugh might have signed it.
Could have been.
Russians. I can say I can get
that.
that.
Russians. That's close, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a conspiracy.
I'm sure there's a Facebook video, a 1-minute Facebook video that compiles all the bad stuff that Rush and Trump have said, and they've tied it into the Russians.
Yeah, guys, let's talk about Facebook here for a moment, guys. This morning, before the program, I received an urgent message from people that I trust, that they received from someone that they trusted, who received it from something else. And the thing was this: President Obama signs an executive order banning the Pledge of Allegiance from all federally funded places, schools. He signed an executive order banning that. And you can go to jail or a $10,000 fine if it's anything that has federal money attached to it, and sent that to me. I'm just talking about Facebook, right? So I start to type this out like, you've got to be kidding me. This is a big deal, to prove again that he's non-American or whatever. So I go to the site and I start reading it, and I'll tell you, the first paragraph, very convincing. Second paragraph was pretty convincing until it got down to the third paragraph, where they interviewed a dolphin about it. They interviewed a woman who gives away free socks to the homeless people about it. And then the whole thing was a big hoax. And I mean, it was sent out like, this is urgent. We got to get it on the air right now, because it was on Facebook. It was on Facebook.
That's right.
Facepalm.
It was on Facebook. Friends, we're up on a break here. When we get back, we're still going to do a little fact checking here. And again, just some of the amazing things. Don't forget to get a hold of us. Email Don@TwoGuysAndABible.com. Text 573-216-1871. Did any of this change your mind about who you're voting for, or if you're voting at all? I want to hear from you today. Just give us a yes or a no. We want to hear from you today. Email Don@TwoGuysAndABible.com. Text 573-216-1871. Get in the chat room, post it there. This is the 1412 Live on the 1412 Radio Network.
The 1412 Live, where the Bible and the street meet.
Hello, church. This is Hiram Gomez, president and founder of Triumphant Living International, and your host for the Voice of Triumph radio program, heard right here on the 1412 Radio Network. I want to encourage you to tune in Monday through Friday at 9:15 a.m., 6:15 p.m., and 1:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, so that you can be equipped and empowered to live in victory and success.
Hey, this is Matt from TwoGuysAndABible.com. You're listening to the 1412 Radio Network. It might be the best thing you put in your ears all day.
This is Evangelist Kim Ware. We call it the Warrior. The giant standing in front of you is not greater than the giant slayer inside of you. You can join me every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. as we call forth the warrior in you on the 1412 Radio Network.
Whatever happened to them simple days? You know that childlike faith. Redirect our hearts toward praise. Redirect our hearts toward praise.
We want to hear from you today. Questions or comments about today's show? Contact us by email. Don@TwoGuysAndABible.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. If you have made it to the third and final installment of this program, you are brave.
Yes,
you are brave.
we applaud you.
Yes, we thank you for sticking it out with us. But at the same time, hey, I've been accused of being the Donald Trump of the evangelists. So we don't exactly say the right things the right way, but we're going to say it, right? So I don't take that as a bad thing. But I was just talking to Matt. Coming back here from the break, I wanted him to talk about something. We're going to get back to the facts, the cold hard facts of NBC in just a moment. But I wanted Matt to bring something up from this debate, this last debate. Frank Luntz, that's how you say his name, isn't that right? Frank Luntz.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
A pollster. This guy, I mean, he's serious business. He's no joke. Very trusted guy. I want you to talk a little bit about him and what it is that he does, and then I want you to talk about what he had to say in this last debate. Matt.
Well, Frank Luntz, pollster, he had a live group of 17 people, of proclaimed undecided people sitting there. So he had a live focus group during the second presidential debate. If you guys know anything about this guy, on all networks, he's a pollster. Actually, a couple of years ago, read his book on words. He's a huge guy, and he was out a lot during the 2008 election, 2012 election, talking about the culture of America, how people interpret words, how they receive what all these candidates say and what they say about things. So if you watch any news at all, you've seen this guy. Maybe not know that his name is Frank Luntz. But he had a group of 17 there. Before the debate, he asked them who they were leaning towards. So which way they were leaning. They were leaning, 9 of them towards Trump, I believe, 8 of them towards Clinton. And these are the undecided. They haven't figured it out yet. By the end of the debate, the undecideds had doubled towards Trump. They went to 18.
That says a lot. Coming off of a scandal like that.
This is after the videotape got released. This is after all the stuff, and after the second debate. It went up to 18 in favor. What did I say? 18, 17. The people doubled. It couldn't have went to 18 because there were 17 people. But the Trump side doubled. The undecided, everybody would have thought that they favored and they went more towards Clinton after the debate.
Right.
And it didn't happen.
And he was shocked. I remember watching him afterwards. He said, wow, I've never seen it. He said, I am really shocked, and I was wrong. He said, I would have told you that Trump was finished at the beginning of this debate before he even came on. He said, just from the polls that I was looking at before, I would have told you that Trump was finished, that he won't be able to recover from the scandal. And at best, all he could do is somewhat stop the bleeding during this debate. He said, but I cannot believe that his numbers doubled during this debate. And he said, I've just never seen it before. I've never seen that before. And that just tells me something, that people are sick and tired of what we have. Mm-hmm. And I think that's always been the thing, is that we absolutely know what we're going to get with Hillary Clinton. We are absolutely sure of her policies. She does state them very clear. We absolutely know what we're going to get with her. And people are still thinking that Trump's the wild card, even though he says these things. But will he really do these things? Because he doesn't have the 30-year track record. See, that is the thing about Hillary. She does have a very good track record for the past 30 years. Go back and look at it. It's very solid, except for all the flip-flops, except for all the leaked emails that are saying that she flip-flopped. How about this one? Again, hard-hitting journalism. Trump said that Clinton viciously attacked 4 women. This is largely unsubstantiated. That's what it says. This is largely, not absolutely, not it is. It's largely unsubstantiated, but it's not. Here we have the 4 women in question who are actually at the debate saying that she did. Well, they say she didn't. She says she didn't, but the 4 women, all different backgrounds, all ages, all said that she did. And again, we needed some of that hard-hitting journalism to know that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Trump said that his 2005 recording didn't describe sexual assault, and it says it did. This is on NBC. Trump said that it didn't describe sexual assault. They say it did. Did it? We've already discussed this earlier. Did it? Did it? Why all of a sudden can't we say that's largely unsubstantiated? That's not largely unsubstantiated? Especially when the 2 who supposedly that he did this to came forward 2 days ago and said he discussed those things and we hear those things, but he did nothing. No sexual assault charges. Amazing, again, the double standard here. We're going to ignore 4 women who claim Hillary attacked them, and now we ignore 2 women who say that Trump didn't attack them.
Trump said Clinton's campaign started the birther movement. She didn't. Technically, she personally did not start it, but someone in her campaign did. There's absolute proof of a picture that they started circulation, and even they claim that it was an obscure person who worked for the campaign, and they fired them right away. Well, it was started from her campaign with a picture of Obama dressed up in Muslim attire.
Don't you remember that picture? That came from a Clinton, somebody in her campaign.
Yeah.
But now, see, she didn't personally have the picture in her hand and say, here you go.
And she fired those guys.
Yes.
Who did that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and so that's all great and everything. So put it to bed, people. Why did it get brought up again in this? Trump didn't bring it up again in this second debate, but it keeps getting brought up. Well, if it's done and she fired her staff for this, then quit bringing it up.
Right.
Trump said that
it's a minor issue.
Clinton wants a single-payer health care. She doesn't. This is at least something of substance that we may want to know about.
Right, at least.
Trump said that the San Bernardino shooters' neighbors saw bombs in their apartment. They didn't. Again, this is technically right fact-checking. It was actually a neighbor of the neighbors who was suspicious and reported seeing that, so they believed to be bombs or bomb-making materials. So yes, good job. It was not the immediate neighbors. We can all sleep better.
Yeah, it was somebody else on the block that saw it, but it wasn't the neighbors.
It wasn't. Well, what defines neighbors? Can you be across the street neighbors, or do you have to be?
I think that we would have to.
They didn't feel like neighbors because they didn't bring them cookies. So it wasn't the actual.
I was thinking the only way to know what a neighbor is we'd have to check with Mr. Rogers, and he's gone. So
that's right.
He was all about neighbors, and he said that I was his neighbor. Don't you want to be my neighbor? Mm-hmm. And I don't. Technically, I am not that man's neighbor. So fact check that. I'm not.
What's a neighbor?
No, fact check that bombs were here brought in by illegals that Hillary Clinton wants to bump up by 550%. No, it just wasn't the neighbors that saw the bombs. Trump is such a moron.
Right.
Gosh.
Trump said that Clinton wants 550% more Syrian refugees. That is true. Good job, Trump.
Wait a minute, Shy. You mean Trump got one right?
One.
How did they allow this through?
I don't know.
It's probably 551.
Idiot.
He's probably wrong.
Stupid. Trump said that the nation can't screen those refugees. That is false. It's not false. This is not false at all. The top Homeland Security official and the FBI both have said, and I quote, there are gaping holes within the U.S. defenses, making the nation vulnerable to attacks similar to France. We have hundreds of Americans traveling to Iraq and Syria, and many have come back, and I think that's a direct threat. This is from the head of Homeland Security. He said that the influx of Syrian refugees is a perfect opportunity for Islamic extremists to slip into the U.S. He said they do not want to be complicit with a policy of letting these people through a program that could bring in potential terrorists. Hillary wants 550% more of them, and the media is going to tell you that Trump is lying and that we cannot screen them. We can't.
So we are capable of screening people in this country. We just don't do a good job of it.
Right.
We have the ability to screen.
Oh, I think I
But
heard
it's not
Hillary
getting
say
done.
that she was on the debate. She said, "I will screen. The people that I will allow." So maybe if Hillary is the one, she's in charge, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. I feel better.
Yeah.
So they're gonna fact check this thing and say he's wrong. Missing the big picture with all these fact check sites. That's exactly what they're doing. They're missing the big picture. Nobody's saying, yes, this still means there's an overwhelming amount of people that are coming in that we're not screening.
Right.
The point is, we're not screening them.
I don't care if it was 100%.
Could screen them, but we're not. So let's focus on Trump not saying the exact right words about this issue and forget the whole issue.
Because the whole premise of the show today was 11 years ago, Trump said some stuff. And that's what's flooded the news media and has caused people to say, I will now not vote for Trump. That's it. Now I'm not going to vote for Trump. Not that Hillary wants to let in 500. That's not a determining factor at all.
Oh, but let's just forget about the stories we talked about, of all these Syrian refugees raping 5-year-old.
Or how 900 of them came in and it was only 4 of the 900. She's talking tens of thousands, but 4 out of 900 caused the Paris attacks that killed 130 something people.
Right.
But she's talking tens of thousands, and we have our Homeland Security director saying they are going to hide in the population of those. But Hillary says, but I will screen them.
Bring them on in.
I will screen them. I will do it personally. Standing. I want to fact check. Will she do it? Is she going to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guarantee you, Bill will take the ladies' line. That's for sure. He'll do the screening.
Well, I thought words mattered, Donnie. Don't words matter?
They do 11 years ago, if it's on video. And it's not Hillary.
And it's not legitimate.
And it kind of sort of is really true, sort of. Trump said that he was against the Iraq invasion. He wasn't. Here's another lie. Again, video. Why can't we look at this video? Trump is on video saying he is against it.
Howard Stern.
There is a video out there from before this started, and they're talking. He was against it, but don't look at that video because Trump is sexist. Can't look at that video though. He's on there. You can timestamp it. When he was talking about it, he was against it. Trump said he doesn't know Putin. That's not what he said before 2015. It says. That's what it said. It said that's not what he said before 2015. Listen, here's the deal. What he was saying was I don't know how the man thinks. I don't know what cereal he likes, what his favorite color is. You get what come on, people. He didn't mean that he doesn't know him. Because again, that was something that one of Shai's people brought up was, I don't want a president that doesn't know about Russia. Like he didn't know who Putin was. Like he didn't know. Like Putin, who's Putin? I don't know Putin. Who's that? That's not what he was saying. He was saying I couldn't dare to begin to pick the mind apart of Putin and tell you what he's thinking. People are nuts. But it's because Donald Trump doesn't say the words properly presidential.
Right.
Right? He doesn't. So he's just going to say things like you and I would say, well, I don't know Putin. I don't know what. We would understand that meant Shai doesn't know what the man thinks.
Right.
She knows who he is. Shai, you can't be president.
The fact.
I know I'm a woman.
I thought Shai was going to run 2020.
And Kelby.
The hair.
And Kelby.
I mean, you would make an awesome bumper sticker. That's the whole
thanks.
thing. Everybody would know it's you for sure.
The big hair.
Here's the big picture on Russia, guys. Russia. All this stuff is brought up like huge. For all these debates, it was brought up tons on the second debate. And I just have to make these comments because, facts are, the Trump organization, Trump company, doesn't have any properties in Russia. We know that now. That's been fact checked. They don't have any loans. They don't have any dealings. They tried to do business in Russia years ago, before 2008, and they hadn't been able to do it. So meanwhile, any international company's got 33 major properties around the world, right? Any international company might try to do business in Russia. Great. So he does business in Russia, doesn't do business in Russia. Meanwhile, the big picture is, while they're focused on that, the big picture is that during 2009 and on, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton approved concession for a Russian company that bought into a Canadian company that now control a fifth of our uranium mining in the U.S. And during her time as Secretary of State, that Russian company that got a pass from the State Department, you have to get approval for this by the State Department, the Russian company paid Bill Clinton to speak and gave money to the Clinton Foundation. That same exact time. The big picture of this whole thing, we're missing the Russian connection. She's talking about Russia so much to try to divert the attention off of what she did with Uranium One. Nobody's fact-checking this mining contract of uranium in the U.S., now controlled by a Russian interest through a Canadian company. Nobody's talking about this. Are they talking about that at the restaurant, Shy?
Nope.
Nobody's talking about this. But Russia, Putin this, Putin that. Our Secretary of State did this and got paid for it. Paid. Billy got paid big money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think that speech was $500,000. You can check me on that. The Ericsson Cellular speech, the international contract for Ericsson Cellular was $750,000 speech that Bill Clinton got paid, the Clinton Foundation. The same week, the State Department approved these concessions to do business in the U.S. They paid him big speech. Now, I guess he's an amazing speaker. Because when you can, I don't know if you can get him on the radio show here, Donnie.
I don't have enough money.
I don't know what we got to pay the Clinton Foundation to get Bill on here. But apparently he is words of gold. Because when you can get $750,000 for a speech, I mean, it must be life-changing. Because surely that's all. They just wanted to hear him talk. They weren't going to get anything for their $750,000.
Right.
They just wanted to hear the golden pipes of Bubba Clinton and just to hear him talk because he's so amazing.
He is amazing. Here's something that came in from a pastor's wife. Now listen to this. This is how I see it, she says. What he did and said was personal, talking about Trump. This is how I see it. What he did and said was personal. What she has done wrong her whole career has been political. Because we're talking about politics, right? Trump's not going to be at Thanksgiving dinner. So we're talking about politics here. So good point.
Well,
good point.
In 2005, he wasn't running for office.
No, he was getting ready to go beyond Days of Our Lives or something. I mean, come on. That's poor judgment right there.
Darlene made this comment in the chat, and it's something that I've said the entire week. I love this. I said it yesterday in my office. She says, follow the money trail, folks. And that goes for all this stuff. When you're doing your fact check and you're looking at both these candidates, seriously, follow the money. Look at the money. Look at the Trump organization. Look at it. Look at the 104-page financial. Has anybody done that? I have. All the candidates have to release a document to the Election Commission. He released more pages of financial disclosures, 104 pages to the Election Commission, than any of the candidates, and it details every aspect of their business for the Trump organization. Every company, every holding, every stock he owns, everything. I looked at all 104 pages. It's very detailed. So look at it all. Look at both candidates. Look at how much money they made. Look at where the money came from. Look at the Clinton Foundation. Look at all this stuff.
Matt, stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. Here's one for you. Trump called Obama's Syrian red line. This was on their page. NBC, excellence in broadcast journalism. Trump called Obama's Syrian red line a line in the sand, while Clinton said she wasn't Secretary of State then. And it says they're both wrong. I love this one. Don't let Trump be right. No, they're both wrong, it says. See, Clinton said that she had nothing to do with this line where our coward in chief said, I'm drawing a red line, and if they cross it, well, I'm just going to show you that I mean business. Well, the enemy did cross it, and we did nothing. And so Hillary is saying that she wasn't even there and had nothing to do with it. Well, she lied. She was Secretary of State and had direct contact with that enemy who crossed that line while we stood back and we looked weak. And Trump, well, he was wrong. Why was he wrong? He was so wrong. It wasn't a line in the sand. It was a red line. Trump, you are so out of touch with foreign policy. It was a red line, not a line in the sand, you silly sexist pig. He called it by the wrong name. And so the fact check was they're both wrong. Not the point that she was Secretary of State when we put forth a absolute solid stance to say, I am drawing a line here, a red line. And if you cross that, you're going to get it from the U.S. And they said, really? And they crossed it. And we said, well, but I'm going to draw another line. And I mean it this time. I mean it. And she was Secretary of State at that time. And the whole point was this: weak. We are weak under that administration. We were weak when she was a part of that. And she's trying to separate herself from it. And she was Secretary of State, the one that travels to these countries and talks to these people. And she's trying to weasel out of it. But they didn't want to say that it was just her that was wrong. The fact check was he called it a line in the sand, and it was actually quoted as a red line. A red line. I love how Netanyahu came out for Israel and said, I'm drawing a line here, and you cross it, I'll blow you off the face of the earth. And they didn't cross it. So I love his stance because they know he means business. And I love that Trump, by the way, had a 90-minute meeting with Netanyahu, by the way. Fact check that.
Yeah.
He's reaching out to Israel already, whereas Clinton has been a part of an administration that has done nothing but bash Israel, bad talk Israel. I mean, can we talk Christianity for a minute? What does the Bible say about Israel? You think we're going to be friends with Israel when Clinton's in there? Because she's already a part of an administration as the Secretary of State that has mocked Israel, has mocked Netanyahu, and the leaders have blamed them for failure to cooperate in peace talks when Palestine wants to just take over and offer nothing, but Israel, you have to give up everything. I mean, just think about that for a minute as we're talking about Christianity in the Bible and being friends. Which one of these people do you think are going to be more friendly towards Israel, which, by the way, has always had our backs, has the best military technology ever of anyone ever, and oh, by the way, has never, ever, 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 ever lost any wars that we know of, by the way. So that's somebody I want on my team who's about the size of New Hampshire or whatever, and surrounded by a world of people trying to kill them, and you can't kill them. You can't blow them off the map. You can't get those millions to fight. It sounds like Gideon to me. Let's get 300 men. Oh, by the way, who are backed by God. Israel. That's who we want on our team. Do you think they'll be on our team with Clinton in the White House? You think so? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think eventually if we keep jacking around, they're going to say, you know what? We're done with the United States, and we'll just make a stand on our own, and the United States will have no friends overseas, and then we're really going to be in trouble. That's just my opinion, but that's the way that I see it rolling. Trump said that Clinton will raise the middle class taxes. It won't. I didn't go into the big details on that one, but that one was one of substance. I don't want to talk substance today. I just want to talk NBC fact checking, right?
I mean, it's such a joke. We can't go into that one, but that's one of those, everybody's missing the big picture on this. Guess what happens, folks, when you tax people to death? It trickles down to everybody. All those guys like to talk about that trickle up, trickle down economics doesn't work. But here's the thing. What happens when you tax a business to death? They don't hire as many employees.
No way.
There's not as much money in your paycheck and in the economy. We're missing the big picture here.
Right.
Which candidate is going to grow the economy? Which candidate is going to grow the size of government? If you want to grow the size of government, you just look at what's happening with that tax picture. So again, when they talk about taxes affecting the middle class, That's what you got to look at, the overall economy. You're missing the big story.
Right. Well, and that's the whole point of this fact checking here, is that they are not wanting to give you anything of substance. These are the issues that NBC, that millions of people are watching, getting their news from every day. You know, they're watching this, they're trusting them to provide them with the hard-hitting facts in the news. And these are what they decided to pick to fact check so that people could know that Trump said Michelle Obama was in a 2008 primary ad attacking Clinton, and she wasn't. Oh, well, he can't be president. True, again, she was not in the ads. She very strongly and vocally campaigned against Hillary in 2008 and constantly talked in public on camera about Hillary's incompetence and how she is evil and not qualified to be president, but not in an ad, not in a paid advertisement.
Stupid.
Gosh, Clinton said there was no evidence that her server was hacked. It says, sure, but the FBI noted that sophisticated hackers wouldn't leave any evidence, even if they did hack the server. So again, fact check that technically there was no signature at the bottom of her screen that said, hi, my name is Earl. I just hacked your computer.
So we're just assuming that they did.
Yeah. But she says they didn't. Yeah, you guys think they hacked it. And I know they have them, but there's no signature on the bottom of the screen that said, hi, I just hacked your computer. Thank you.
This is the same comment about Putin. Oh, come on. You're telling me Trump hasn't called Putin up on the phone? Oh, they're buddies. I'm sure they're golfing buddies. We're just assuming they're golfing buddies.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Right. Deleted emails, Shy.
Clinton said deleted emails were personal and not official. While they weren't all personal, she's still trying to say that her emails were personal. She is still denying to the American people that she deleted any classified documents. Trump said that the moderators hadn't asked about Clinton's emails, and they had just finished asking questions about them.
Fact check it.
Fact check.
Watch the FBI footage of the congressional hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all people got to do, but they're not going to go there and look at it.
No, because it's not a 1 minute clip on Facebook.
Right. Trump said that Bernie Sanders accused Clinton of exercising bad judgment. He did. Trump said that the Federal Immigration Enforcement Agency, ICE, endorsed him. They didn't, but a union of some ICE employees did. Clinton said that she had apologized for the way... 5%
of them. All but 5% of them voted, by the way.
Oh, but it's a fact check. That's
fact. No,
they didn't.
Matt, stick to the facts.
Stick to the facts.
I'm trying to throw out numbers, 5%.
Clinton said she had apologized for the way that she talked about Trump's supporters, and she said she was sorry for saying half of his supporters were deplorable, not for saying they were deplorable.
What? What the what? Wait, what?
Wait.
What's the definition of is? What?
She just said this a few weeks ago.
She said she was sorry for saying half the supporters were deplorable, not for saying they're deplorable. We're deplorable, but not for saying they're deplorable.
And irredeemable, by the way.
I have Drew come
also, with this cutesy little fact check thing they did, they don't include the whole story. She said half of Trump supporters were deplorable and irredeemable.
Oh, yeah, they didn't. Well, fact check that. See, we didn't say that part. Not at all.
Leave that part out.
So there you go. It's all about semantics, I guess. Well, I said half of the supporters were deplorable. Not that they are deplorable, right?
I mean, that's much better.
Right.
That's much better. Guess what? We're out of time. We're out of time on the 1412 Live today. We are out of time. Fact check it. We're out of time. Hey, but don't go anywhere right here on the 1412 Radio Network. We've got the Inner Pulpit Radio Blast coming up here in about 15 minutes. I still want to hear from you. Don at TwoGuysAndABible.com. Text 573-216-1871. Get in the chat room. Did any of this change your stance on who you were voting for or voting at all? Don't forget, 1 p.m. today, it's the Mad Christian Radio Show. Check it out. And, of course, listen in our morning block. We got great ministry programs in that morning block and the evening block. Be checking that out. Make your plans to get to the summit. Go check all this out on TwoGuysAndABible.com. God bless you all. We will talk to you next time. Be blessed.
You guys.
You've been listening to the 1412 Live. Join us next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on the only station helping you to do the works and greater works, the 1412 Radio Network. Thanks for listening.